This is the month of June and we've entered summer. My garden is lush and it's blooming in various colors. I'm actually very happy to see the garden every single day. This little greenhouse has got loads of chilies and peppers. What you can see now is an APACHE chili, a yellow pepper. Both of them haven't given me any flowers. And this is 2 chili seedlings that was donated from the allotment. Don't know the variety of it. This is a hot chili pepper. It started to fruit. And this is a medium purple chili pepper that has also started to fruit. These 2 chili plants I have seeded it last year and it's covered in flowers. I'm hoping I'll get loads of chilies this year from it. This is a poppy flower. Believe it or not, it is actually a poppy flower, a frilly type actually. I had seen loads of seedlings in this pot over the start of the spring when my tulips had started to flower. I had no clue what it was and I couldn't even remember whether I had put some seeds in it. When it started to flower, I realized it's a poppy plant, but I couldn't remember from where I got it from. It's from my allotment, a neighbor's plant. This is the original plant. The flower size is significantly different because of where it is planted. This particular mother plant is in the ground and it is huge. The flower is huge, so is the plant. The other one is tiny because it's in the pot. This is my potatoes in the sack. It's okay, I guess. Now for the larger greenhouse. It's getting empty than what it was before. So here are some more seedlings of celery. They're coming up as and when they want to, I guess. So when they are big enough, I'm transplanting them. Here is verbena. This is the second year I have tried and I hope it is going to be successful. That's sweet basil and red leaf basil. And this is the HELLEBORE seedlings. You might have seen me transplanting in a previous video. I've already found a good home for one of the trays out of the 4 that I planted. This is Black Beauty aubergine of 2 plants. They are doing good. The leaves are getting bigger. The F1 cucumber plant, they're also doing good, and my plan as they're growing, they will wind through the shelves. The chili plant, something has been eating it. The 2 red tomatoes, Roma tomato and heritage tomato, both have started to give the first truss of flowers. Very nice to see that they are doing well. I have in fact fertilized it with organic chicken pellets and seaweed powder. This is the bluebells. They are kind of a cherry tomato that is also quite strong and healthy, and it also has the first truss of flowers. This is the red bell pepper. This is doing really good apart from the leaves. I've actually picked 6 to 7 small tiny slugs from underneath the pot. Seedlings of the celery that's being transplanted. Brummy leaves, my daughter loves these leaves. Pak choy seedlings, they will soon go into the allotment. Parsley, they'll also go into the allotment. This is Rosa Parade cutting. So if it's successful, I will find some good homes for it. Various stages of the celery seedlings, so the oldest ones are at the back. I still have 4 more cherry tomato plants that need some space to grow. They are still in their initial seedling pots. Apart from that, the greenhouse is getting empty in one way. This is the ACER PALMATUM. It's not yet fully green. At present, it's in a very interesting stage between red and green. So the leaves are spotted with white, red and green colors, and it's very pretty to see. This is the gold flame, very popular with bees. No bees at present. Ruby, Swiss chard and sedum. I love this plant. It gives a very good color in autumn. Apples, they are growing big after the June drop. Each of the clusters have got 2 to 3 apples. So if there are any weak ones that I find, like, I just pinch them out and I keep only the good apples on the. That will help the plant to push all the energy into the good apples. Creeping sedum, it's also finishing its flowering time. Now 3 colors of GMs are there in my garden. This is the yellow color, very popular among bees. You can find bees any time of the day on these flowers. And there's the red color. There's an orange one as well, and I haven't seen the flowers yet. This is the oriental lily that I moved recently. The leaves are misshapen, but it looks fine. More apples, looking very healthy. More apples on this side of the tree. It's a different apple. So this tree has got 2 types of apples. Swiss chard, weeds in the Swiss chard. I haven't seen it before. Even though it's new compost, you can still find weeds because the seeds will be planted there by flying birds. Mexican feathergrass, one of my favorite grasses. It's very beautiful on a windy day. So this is the apple. You can see there are 2 apples on that cluster, but one is a good size and shape and the other is not so good. So you just pinch it off or snap it as I showed. Strawberries, they are not very sweet strawberries even when they're ripe. They're slightly on the tartar side, so I use it for jams rather than eating it raw. One of the big red roses. This is the bed that is closer to the shed. It's a yarrow or ACHILLEA cloth of gold. The one flower head is formed by many little tiny flowers, and they are loved by hoverflies because they can come and sit on one flower head and get loads of honey. It looks like a forest of yarrow, but in the middle of all that lush greenness, you can see alliums and lillies pushing through it to be noticed. These are again oriental lilies that are going almost more than 6 feet now. This is a plum tree. It's doing good. It was planted last winter. To the right at the back of the garden, this wall is covered in 2 jasmines. So they are growing now. The flowering time is almost over, so they are putting up a lot of green growth. So that's another jasmine. And down here is SCABIOUS, black night. The flowers are just opening. So every every day there are different flowers. This is a rose that I just moved from under a shady area, so it will take a year or so to settle. This is another miniature rose. The red flowers are very beautiful. They were just opening last month when I showed the video. And this is the honeysuckle that is also climbing quite fast. The peonies have finished flowering for this year. So now they will be putting all their energy into their rhizomes. That's the miscanthus grass. It's also doing good, but I can't see the variegations that clearly. So the oriental lilies, really tall. I can't wait for the flowers. I do still inspect for red beetles, the red lily beetles, because you can still find them. Prima ballerina rose, very, very, very nicely flowering. It's got a tiny yellow flush of color in the center. I noticed this before. This is the climbing rose. I've found that it is the climbing rose, so it will be moved to a better location over the next winter. Heleniums, the banana tree or the banana plant, and honeysuckle. Loads of flowers and very fragrant around the archway. And that's the AKEBIA on the other side of the archway. Very lush. I'm happy that it is very lush this year. And that's the yellow rose that I've moved recently. It's doing very well indeed. I will be pruning it in the spring. Again, the geranium that's moved, it's also flowering. I had some kale and purple sprouting broccoli seed plants left, and I had no space in the allotment, so I've planted them here. All the dicentra and rhododendrons have finished flowering, so they are all now just green color, no more pinks. This is the gladioli. It will be a chocolate red color. Mr. Rabbit with the ECHEVERIA, that's also good. You might have noticed in my previous video that I mentioned about the infestation of a caterpillar. I've managed to get rid of it by constant picking. Mexican feathergrass, very, very delicate, moves very nicely in the winter. Another white rose. Loads of chives that have self-sown here. Not sure whether I should pick it. This is my kilmarnock. It needs a haircut because it's getting very long and I can't see through the tree to the flowers which are behind. So I will be giving it a good strong cut. And also it still has the sawfly infestation. So after the haircut, here's the tree. And I don't throw away the leaves. I just put it underneath various trees as a mulch, and literally in weeks they will all disintegrate. There is a white rose there, and this is the rock rose. It's very delicate, very tiny, but fabulously beautiful. More strawberries, self-sown strawberries. I haven't planted this many strawberries in my garden. They are all self-sown ones. These are the hellebores. They are pruned right now. So what I have done is I've cut off all the flower heads along with their spikes, and also all the old leaves. This is oregano. I thought I had lost it. It's around 4 years ago I've planted some and they didn't do well, but they've come back this year. One more or two more purple sprouting broccolis. Let's see if it will do good here. This is a north side garden. I don't hope much, but I didn't want to throw away the plant. The self-sown violet, I liked the color, so I'm going to keep it. The hosta is also doing good. The geraniums have started to flower. It's just the start. In few days or even a week, it will be covered in purple flowers, but they are sterile. This is buttercup. I was going to pull it out, but I liked the flower, and it looks like the bees also like them, the hoverflies also like them. So I'm going to keep it till the flowering time finishes. The Unimus is very thin, If anyone has any idea how to make it much more bushier, please do let me know. Camellia is also doing good, but it's landing, so I have to give it some support. Some of the primroses have given me a second set of flowers, so I'm hoping the division and replanting has worked. There's an evergreen side plant, I don't know what name it is. These are all the pots that are donated by neighbors. I've washed and I'll keep them in the garage for next year. The pond with the grass and that's a nice flower of the variegated reed. The flower head is quite delicate. This is a begonia, and next to the begonia, the hosta has started to give the flower heads. They will be very tall and delicate, but they look very beautiful. These two are pond marigold and pond iris. So they have survived on the land without much issue, but underneath it is my canna lily. It's quite late to come in. It's shaded by the begonias on the side, so I have to thin the begonia for it to have space for this to come. They're very beautiful. The leaves are white spotted. The transplanted aspleniums and hostas are alright. These are supposed to be miniature roses, but they are getting big now. Just goes to show that if you plant them in the ground, they become really big. The only dahlia in my garden, and I can't wait for its flower. Very beautiful POM-POM style dahlia. That's the Annabelle hydrangea. That's not looking very healthy. I'm not sure why. The first flower, all of them are pink color, so this is the first flower. This bed is full of alchemilla mollis. They're on different stages of flowering. So towards the top end of the bed, they are on much further into the flowering. So this side of the bed, it's just coming into flower, whereas when we go up the bed, you can see the flowers are almost ready to open. They would become bigger as days go by. It's very much loved by hoverflies. I don't see a lot of bees on this, but loads of hoverflies and tiny bugs and beetles. The passion flower getting stronger day by day, sending in tentacles wherever it can. I have to come almost every day to train it. The peony has finished flowering. These two are the only flowers left. The echinaceas, I'm just hoping it will flower. Oh, there's a bee. See, the passion flower plant sends tentacles almost anywhere it can get to. So these stringy ones, spring-like things, are the ones that will cling on to whatever it can so that it can climb. So what I do is that I come out almost every day and train each of these vines around the strings that I've put up, and then eventually they will just grow along that line and stay strong on it. The clematis is looking very scruffy. I'm not very happy with it this year. I might feed it more. So that's the garden in June. It's lush, green, and loads of color, loads of wildlife. See you soon. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video.